in the chat. That's what I should
Yes.
say. Hi, you guys.
Where them fans at? Ooh, where them fans at? Ooh, where them fans at? Bop, 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 bop. Yes.
These don't do that. These don't.
Let me try. It's hard. They're big, so they got to travel a distance. So
Yeah, and your hand has to have a really strong, like perfect grip on them, and it kind of exactly. It's like no, I can't get it. I can't get it. Can't get it. How are we today, Kendrick? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was on the verge of a crash out yesterday morning, but I averted it. I went to see my cousin run track, and I got okay. There's a place here called Sushi Kingdom. If you live in Memphis, don't start going, okay? It's my place. But it's a place called Sushi Kingdom. It's unlimited sushi, unlimited hibachi. They give you the menu. You just pick what you want. You check it off. And then the other part of the restaurant, you can do a boil bag if you want to. Oh, it's heaven. It's heaven.
Wait,
Yes.
What's the price? What's the price point we're talking?
So me and my coworkers go on lunch one day a week. We always go to lunch there. $19.
What?
$19. I give me a Diet Coke. They don't have Coke Zero. I give me a Diet Coke with a lemon, so it's like $22 total. $22 total.
Well, that is unheard of.
Oh, I get my money back every time. It's amazing.
And more. I feel like I don't even know a world where I could go get sushi for $20.
Oh my God, it's amazing. And they got like the best menu. But if you go for dinner, then it jumps up to 28. But the menu expands so you can get like, oh, it's the best. It's
because I'm not even kidding. Here in LA, and anyone in LA can attest to this. And probably
I've had sushi with you in LA. Yes,
it's like $100 minimum. And you always are hungry. No matter what, no matter how I eat my sushi, I'm always hungry an hour later. Like I didn't eat the sushi.
Oh my God. See, you gotta kind of mix it up. So on your first go around, you get like the sushi you want. So, if you want some nigiri, if you want like a California, like whatever, you do that. The second time though, make sure you get you something that's like tempura fried or something that actually like will coat that stomach for a little bit longer. You gotta know how to do it a little bit. Coat that stomach and
Before we get into all of the things, I wanted to talk about some TV recommendations.
Oh.
Because we discussed this last week. Gilded Age, you guys,
you started watching.
I finished it. I finished season 2. I think the season 2 finale is some of the best television in the history of television. I have rewatched, and so just this is like a side note, a little personal for me to get into this, but my OCD has been a little worse than normal as of the last month.
Something about this year is doing it to all of us.
Also, I forgot the fires actually did more to me than I want to acknowledge. And so I feel like a lot of things are resulting in I don't know, just the trauma of this year. And so my OCD things, because it's basically OCD for people who don't have it. You create kind of rules, sort of, and they're nonsensical, and I can't really explain it beyond that because that's a whole other podcast.
Sure.
But when I'm going through a really bad OCD bout, I have to watch the same show in the background. It has to be on, or something bad will happen. That's how weird OCD is. And Gilded Age has become that show.
I love that. I love that.
It's so comforting somehow. It's just the simple thing. It's simple, and I when I'm watching it, I'm never taken out of that time period. I'm transported.
You're all in. Yeah.
And it also, so one of my favorite movies of all time to this day probably is Newsies, that movie, the musical that Christian Bale starred in. I'm talking, this is the 90s. Okay. And I love
this movie. Yes.
And so I could probably do a one-woman show to Newsies. I'm not even joking, to this day. So, but that's that same time period. So it also has a nostalgic thing, this Gilded Age time period. And it is a lot of historically factual events. So I'm also learning.
Right? It's so good. And Carrie Coon, my God.
No, Carrie Coon if you're a fan of Carrie Coon from White Lotus, I can't recommend this enough. The range on this bitch. Okay. So did you only know her from Gilded Age?
No. So my introduction, well, I feel like she's been that person who like I hadn't put a name to, but my like big Carrie Coon introduction was The Leftovers on HBO, another HBO show. Anything HBO that she's in, I'm 100% in on. But Leftovers, it was a Damon Lindelof show. He's one of my favorites too. He did Watchmen. Shout out to David Lindelof. So anything he does and she's in, I'm all about it. So someone in the comments just said The Leftovers is where she shines. So good. It's such a show that's just like every episode is like banger after banger. So, and it's the whole story of The Leftovers is amazing. So that I was all in on, and so I started following her from there. Love her.
Do I need to watch The Leftovers too?
Watch the first episode and see if it brings you in, because I think that which season will I say? I think season 3 of Leftovers was just like pure cinema. And so, but each season is great. It's Justin Trudeau, Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband. He's the lead in it, but like she's the I'll say, I don't know if she was a supporting actress, but she was, I feel like, lead actress in the show. So yeah, all good. And then Regina King comes in season 2. Oh my God, it's great. So yes, it's a good time. Watch The Leftovers. Yes, watch The Leftovers.
So yes, I will watch The Leftovers, because you guys, Gilded Age. Now look, it's a little silly. It is. But it's like
not your average like period piece show.
Yeah,
I feel. Yeah. But
like,
in the best way.
It's a special world that they've created, and it makes me want to like go back to like the it's so formal too. Like I wanted to greet you like, thank you for receiving me, Mr. Tucker.
Yeah. Yes.
The characters are so sweet, and like the balance of the characters is perfect too. Like I love Aunt Agnes. She is a grumpy bitch, but I fucking love Aunt Agnes. I think she's just because you want to know why they make that character so they perfectly crafted this woman who's difficult and grumpy, but she supports Miss Scott, who is the Black woman that gets to come and live with them. And it's very now too, like seeing how America started and seeing how it all grew, and you're comparing it to nowadays, and there's a labor strike. And it's like, it's so good. Carrie Coon though is like royalty. Like the way she has created her voice that she uses, the walk that she has, and the man who plays her husband, what's his name again in real life?
Morgan Spector.
Kendrick goes, and what about my man, Morgan Spector? But he is so smooth and sexy, and it is so good. So highly recommend.
I told you, I love when people like tell me they watch something I recommended and actually like really loved it.
It's my favorite thing too.
Because I'm somebody that like I try my hardest to like craft recommendations to that person, because I watch a lot of out there shit. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can tell Emily to watch this. I don't know. Like true crime stuff, I'll always recommend to you. But other stuff, I'm like, okay, will she like this? Will she? I don't know. I'm gonna try it. So I'm glad that one actually hit. So like that's always a good thing. And I'm also realizing I said Justin Trudeau earlier. Which y'all let me know in the comments. Justin Theroux was Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband. That's in the show. I think Trudeau is the Canadian.
You said that last week, I think. And
I probably did.
Canadian. That's the former Canadian prime minister, right? Okay, wait. Now I have the next thing is not necessarily a rec, but I'm curious to see if anyone here in the chat has seen it and feels the same way. So season 5.
Have not watched yet.
Okay. I fucking hated it. Like, and I mean, like, I was yelling at the TV, like, as they were like, in the finale episode, I was like, what are we doing? Why are we going here? What's happening? Like, I just thought it was so bad. However, I've only seen positive comments online. So critics have said that it wasn't good, but like the comments online have all been like, we loved it. I loved it. Best finale ever. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the problem. So I don't know.
They seem to be
But
agreeing with you in the comments.
I am
They're
very
saying it's a
dissatisfied.
bummer.
That's okay. It was a
Yeah.
bummer. Crispy Bacon, thank you. Thank you
I was just
so
about
much.
to say his name. I love it so much.
Okay, E says I didn't like season 1. Should I try again? Now, here's also why I probably like extra didn't like it. I had just did a rewatch
Oh yeah.
from season 1. And so I will say that as I did my rewatch, I was like, is this show kind of bad? And so I'm like, it's bad, isn't it? Like, it's not very good. Like, there's so many good parts of it, but like, it's pretty cheesy. Season 5, it's like they threw every single idea at the wall. They're like, just figure out a way to put it all in there. There's so many complicated ways of going about it, and like, it's just. I thought it was so bad. It made me not respect Ben Badgley. It made me disappointed in him. I was like,
Wait, so can I tell you one of the reasons? So like I trust your opinion a lot. So like you were telling me how like you weren't liking it as you were going along, and I had already like had a bit of anxiety about it because I was like, I don't know if it's really hit or miss sometimes. Season 4 really threw me off because they did it where they released the first half and then they did the second half. And the first half sucked to me. I was like, this is so bad. But then we got the second half. I was like, okay, it's bringing it all together a lot better than I thought. But I was like, that was the worst choice ever. Like, I get it, writer's strike and all this stuff. You need content to stretch out, but releasing that in 2 halves was the worst decision they ever could have made to me. So it made me really anxious about this season.
When I rewatched season 4, I was in my memory, we got like by episode 6, they already like showed us what the big reveal was, but they don't even reveal it till like episode 7 or 8. And I think what You constantly does is they show you like they backtrack and show you like this is what really happened. And and someone said, I think Kat said, you have to suspend a lot of logic, but it's still, I think Kat called it, let me find Kat's comment because Kat nailed it. She said it was a good, bad show. Hold on, let me see what you said. Yep, here we go. It's a good, bad show. You have to leave a lot of logic at the door. It's a brain vacation. That's the best way to put it. So if you want to know if you should watch it, sure.
Right.
Sure.
Why not?
But I, having just done a binge of it, was like, okay, let's see what they do with season 5. And then instead of like bringing back Marianne, which I thought they could have done because it's like, if we're going to wrap it all up and like, we don't really necessarily need a whole new You know, how he gets like obsessed with someone. That's like, what happens. But they really gave that actress a lot to do. And then they gave another actress quite a lot to do. And I was like, was this like one of them?
Should I go ahead and start today?
Yeah. But like, know that I'm not endorsing it. I'm saying
you're not supporting.
Like,
yes.
Go ahead. But like, I feel like I want to like hate recap it because I'm like so annoyed by it.
I feel like a hate recap works when you've been there for like throughout the whole series because you can really get into it then. So I feel like that works. Anything like if you're watching just like a Beverly Hills and like hate recap, well, I do it all the time because I watch for y'all. But you know, if you're watching like something that's just like every season changes drastically, then it doesn't work as well. But something like this is actually perfect to hate recap. So I fully support the decision.
Yeah, like it very much went back to feeling like a Lifetime show.
We talked about that last week because the first season, if y'all don't know, with You, the first season was on Lifetime. So like my mom watched it. I didn't watch it till like it finally like got bought by Netflix the first season. And then like I know like she loved it. She was, you know, my mom was all in on Lifetime.
Oh yeah, no, it's
like,
a total genre.
No, yes, that's her jam. Sure. And so like we talked about that, and I was like, season 1. So if you're gonna start You, anybody in the comments, season 1 feels like a Lifetime show. It feels like a slightly better version of a Lifetime show. And so it didn't work on there, but then Netflix bought it. And then season 2, in my mind, maybe that's because I was I don't know, but it got drastically better for me. I was like, ooh,
it did though. Like when I was watching it, it's like, there we go. Like now we kind of got like they had a lot of like things going on, but not too many things.
Right.
And then season 3 was the wrapping up of like love when he was married. And all of that. That in season 3 had that couple the couple that ends up in the cage.
Yes.
I fucking love them. Like I wanted more of them in season. I was like, bring them back for season 5 because when they get in the cage, they were so good.
Yes.
Like, both of those actors were just giving us everything, and it was a lot of fun. They were great. As soon as they came in being like the swingers with an NDAs and like a little briefcase coming in with like their kits and things, I was like, I love you guys. You guys are a lot of fun. Yeah. Now a show I've gotten into, it's only 2 episodes out right now, and it's weekly on Wednesdays that it comes out, which is kind of annoying because you're going to want to binge it. Stolen Girl, it's on Hulu. It's a freeform show. It's a British show.
Ooh, and we love those.
Yeah, and it's true crimey, but it's good. It's fun so far. The accents are nice.
Wait a minute, is this the girl? Well, I don't know if she's the main girl, but is this the girl from that Netflix show that was really good? It was like 15 episodes, One Day. That's her. It was called One Day.
Very familiar. She looks very familiar.
Her and the guy from White Lotus season 2, they were the main, and like they have this like big love story throughout all 15 episodes, and then it ends. Oh gosh, I don't want to. I will say, as it went along, like those last 2 episodes, they did get me in the feels. I won't lie. I was like, oh no. So yes, it was. I love her. Okay, so I'm all in. I'll watch that too. Okay.
Yeah. But again, it's weekly, so if you want to like wait for a few episodes to pile up or something, there's another show. I don't know if anyone watched Surface on Apple Plus. Did you watch Surface? I can't remember if we talked about this.
I didn't. No.
So that I do recommend that show, but it's because I binged the first season and then I watched week to week with the second season that just finished airing, and it's better as a binge. It kind of is too slow when you're waiting week to week. However, when I binged the first season, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is so good. And so then so I feel like if I watched season 2 in that same way, I probably wouldn't have been like, why is this so damn slow?
Right.
But they set up a really great season 3 teaser. Like, they set it up for a great season 3. And I was like, oh, I did not see that coming. So I do recommend it. It's a good show if you if you wanted another show.
This is insane. So season 1 of Surface came out in 2022. And then the second season, listen, that's the thing that's like really killing me about TV now, because I hate when I will love a show and then have to wait that long. And it's not even like the waiting piece of it. I feel like now with all of our the world is changing, all of our attention spans, like even Andor, I'm so excited. I haven't started the new season, but 3 episodes like just dropped, and so I'm gonna start Andor. But I feel like I'm having to like hype myself up to watch it, because I'm like, it's the what's that show on Amazon Prime, Invincible. It's like Invincible. There was so much like leeway between seasons that I didn't care by the time the next season came out, and it can be the greatest piece of, it can win every Emmy, be the greatest piece of TV ever. It's just, I don't care. Euphoria is a wild, Euphoria and P-Valley are wild exceptions for me, because I'm excited for both of those and I will watch, but anything else, I'm like, who cares?
Euphoria also like announced that it was going to be a while. Like we were aware. I think with Surface, the way they end season 1 was very open-ended. So I bet they weren't sure if they were going to even get picked up for a second season. It's kind of like how The Jackal ended their first season, where it's like, we could end it here if it's not good enough to get a second season. But like, if we don't, we got a whole story that we could tell. Same thing with Deli Boys on Hulu. They gave you like a cool ending that like could go either way. So I think Surface took a minute to get renewed for the second season.
Oh, okay.
And then they did it. But it was a bit, season 2 is a bit slow, so it's better as a binge. I think that's one of those shows. Some shows are just better as a binge.
Okay, then maybe I'll do. Okay. So you give me a whole list of stuff that I need to watch. Perfect.
Oh, I love this.
Gen Z in the comments said, Kendrick, did you see that The Pit? That's the show I've been converting. I'm making everyone. Yes. Did you see that The Pit is coming back in January and plans to do seasons annually? Yes, I did. I was so happy about this. They said they want to make it a yearly show. They want to do the same concept where one season is a whole shift on like in one day. So great, so amazing. I'm glad, because they can, if they do it the way they did season 1, I trust them. Make it our new Grey's Anatomy, because Grey's Anatomy I fell off so long ago, and they up to season like 74. So
it's still on, isn't it?
it's
Grey's
still
Anatomy
actively on. Shonda Rhimes gonna be making money for the rest of her life off of that one show. Like, my God, go Shonda.
Oh wait, Alex, thank you. Just Alex in the comments said, if anyone wants to know, The Stolen Girl is 5 episodes long, and it's not a massive commitment. So they have it all out to binge already where he is, but we don't have it. It's getting released. So yeah, maybe just wait like 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks, and then I would just binge it.
Perfect. And that's my kind of show.
It is good though. I'm actually thank you for saying that, Alex. I would have been kind of annoyed if I was like waiting and waiting, and then I'm like, is it over?
Right.
It's over. I feel like if you only have 5 episodes, you should probably just release it all at once.
Right. What's the benefit of Yeah.
Why would you do that? Yes, Crispy Bacon. Grey's is still on.
Still getting renewed all the time. Meredith Grey, or what's her real name? Ellen Pompeo, still like the highest paid person like in cinema. Like just like raking it in every season.
It is cute. Like Anna, you took the words out of my mouth. Anna said, "Love the Pit," and that they brought back Noah Wyle back to the ER. Yeah, like that is such a fun like journey for him. Because has he done any? I don't even know where he's been up to. He's like, I've just been waiting for my next hospital show.
Right. Let's see. What has he been up to? Noah Wyle. I know what's under this trail. What is this?
Okay, next up I want to like talk something out with you guys.
Okay. Love that.
I need to. Okay. So I didn't really want to like honor the rumors about the White Lotus cast, and like, because there were things in the media happening about how Walton and Amy Lou were not following each other anymore on Instagram.
Yes, I saw this.
And like, and people even in this chat had mentioned like, well, there's a rumor that they had an affair and he's married. And that like when they were done filming, maybe his wife was like uncomfortable with whatever. And I was like, well, I don't love that for either Amy or Walton. Don't love that at all. And another thing that I know we've been like all like, woo, we love Walton. But one thing about him that always kind of makes me wonder is he's a method actor.
Oh, those, yeah.
And it sometimes can like it's sort of like abusive at times, like the way, you know what I mean? Like, it's challenging. And so he was talking with, I don't even know what this quote is from, but he was talking with, he's doing an interview, maybe the Hollywood Reporter. And this is a quote he gave. I'm going to read the quote because I just feel like, okay, I'm going to talk. All of us can talk about this together. Okay.
Okay.
He says, I'll say this. Someone I worked with on The White Lotus didn't fully understand my process. My character, Rick Hatchett, he's isolated. So during filming, I was isolated. I liked mirroring that, but it was emotionally difficult. Then a few months into The White Lotus, Fallout premiered and started to take off. One day, this actor I was working with, nice guy, good actor, came up to me and said, "You're brilliant in Fallout. Please tell me you had a good time making that." I just stared at him because he didn't get it. I don't care how good you are. If you don't understand that there's a world beyond the script, if you don't give yourself over to it, then you're missing something profound in this work. This is the drug. I said, no, I play a guy who's lived for 200 years and seen the worst of humanity. Every day was fucking horrible. He just stared back at me like, okay, wow. So I lean into that. The people I look up to lean into that. And this guy, again, great actor, just couldn't understand. Why would someone do that? I thought, why wouldn't you? I bring that level of seriousness to everything I do, comedy, drama. I take it all seriously. How many chances of these will I have? I just don't love it.
First of all, the guy he's referring to, absolutely Patrick Schwarzenegger, I feel.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I'm like, or Jason Isaacs.
I feel like I was trying to think of someone who because I loved Fallout, but it's one of those shows, like I won't recommend it to everybody, but it's one of those shows, like if you're in it, you're in it. Like I really, really loved Fallout. But I'm trying to think, like on the cast, who do I think would have watched it as fast as me? And Patrick Schwarzenegger or the other young guy. One of them was probably the one, but like Patrick seems like he'd be the one to come out like, man, you were brilliant at, because he's the one that's like really like seems to be enjoying being an actor now. So like he's really into the people, and like I feel like it was him, but I don't like that quote either. I'm not really into that. It
I
seemed a
don't
little
love it.
elitist in a way too. Like it smells like you don't get what I'm doing. Why would you talk to me? It's like because we're here making this show. Like why wouldn't I? Like what?
Yeah. And like, it's one thing to be like, this is just how I get it. This is how I get into it the best. This works for me. This is what, but to be kind of like, wow, they don't get it. Like, if you're not doing this, what are you even doing? What are you even?
Exactly.
It's like, well, no, we don't need to do that now, Walton. Okay.
Right.
We don't need to go there. Okay. Thank you for validating me there. Cause I was like, I'm getting the ick.
Can I tell you what gave me the ick? And I don't even it's away from this. I don't want to go away from this topic, but the photos in the Speedo
I know.
on that cover did not, I don't know what was going on, but I was
I
like
felt the same way, Kendrick. I was like, I feel like I should like this, but I feel grossed out by it.
I'm like, who granddaddy? Like, I don't know what was going on, but I was like, this ain't it. This is not it. I don't know who on your team. And that feels like a great departure from the person that's like, I'm a method actor. I do this all the time. That just feels very different to me. So I don't know. Them vibes are clashing, and that Speedo was clashing harder. I don't know if he has. I'm glad you can see where I was going. I'm not gonna finish that thought, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I saw where you were going with that 100%.
I just don't know
where you were going. Okay, so great. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Let me see what you guys are saying. I hated those pics too. See, people get it. People get it.
We have our people. Our people are here. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Did you see the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives trailer?
I did.
They do a really good job of like teasing a bunch of stuff, and I can't tell exactly what connects, but it's also tough. Here's what I say. It's also a little bit tough because they are so active on social media that I feel like I'm already kind of sick of them because they were doing a lot of like clickbaity shit, and I fell for a few of them and I was like, okay, I don't want to keep going down. If I'm going to watch you on a show, just save it for the show. And I feel like, I bet you that was a bit of an issue with production because in most cases they would tell them, stay off social media, don't give away story, whatever. However, that's what made the show even come to be, was them having a strong social media presence. So I feel like that, they probably were like, well, I guess we can't really tell them to stop, but like to keep things secret from us when they're going online, it's a little bit tricky. So I already knew Miranda, who was one of the other people involved in the swinging scandal. I knew she was back filming because they had been posting together.
Yeah.
And it's a little confusing because all the couples that were involved in the swinging scandal are now divorced. And so you're like, her ex-husband, Miranda's ex-husband, Chase, is there. And he's like confronting Taylor about the swinging scandal on camera.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I know it's what is so confusing about it is you're like, so then they are not together. And I can't remember if he had the crush on Taylor because one of them had a crush. One of the husbands had a crush, whatever. Okay. Whatever. But it looks like Demi's husband is getting in his face at a party at one point saying, don't touch my wife. And then the cops get called seemingly as a result of that. But I can't tell if that's just something different, but cops were called in this trailer. Yes, exactly.
There were a couple things that I hated about this, like absolutely hated about the trailer. Because before I get to that, this show makes me a little nervous, not in the sense that like there's anything to be nervous, but like the season one was so like
I know exactly.
It was so grounded, like it was so
excited.
Like their whole lives are like this one thing. So like that we got the first episode an arrest, like actually getting pregnant by the person that they're like not sure they want to, it was all this like super real stuff. And that only lasts for so long. And so I get nervous that season one, it hooked us all immediately. I'm nervous that like future seasons are going to have a really hard time doing that because I feel like production's going to get involved. Now we got this one girl. Oh my God, this is Miranda. She was in the group too. And all so now they're like finding ways to introduce other people to the show of a cast that already has 38 people on it. So it's like, we could have focused on these girls for another season, but okay. And I don't know. It's all a lot that I'm not sure how it'll work, but I'm very invested to see how it works because I'm in it. But a couple things about this trailer. Number one, don't like how much what's her name? Jen Affleck, how much her husband is talking in the trailer. I'm like, I don't ever need to hear from you ever again in life. So now you suddenly being all about the cameras, that feels disingenuous. That feels like damage control. That feels like you're still a super gross person, but you want to be on TV now because now you've been bitten by the bug, and now you got all this celebrity and people are recognizing your long, gross blonde hair that like is a super a really particular tint of blonde that I just like. I'm like, what is happening here? So I don't like that. But also I don't like the blatant, someone called it out in the comments, I don't like the blatant Vanderpump Villa crossover.
Thank you.
That I'm not, first of all, I'm not watching Vanderpump Villa ever because I don't need to ever see Stassi in my life. But like I'm not like I don't need that. Like now it just feels like it feels like we're going from reality to super scripted now, and that's gonna be a hard pill to follow in one season.
I agree. I don't want to see this crossover especially because they don't make it like, I'm like, since when? Like, why?
Right.
But it's because it's Hulu, right? They're both on Hulu, so that's got to be the crossover. But even it seems like Zach and Jen are like joining up. Even they might be fighting, but it seems like they're going against Demi and like alluding to something that she did on Vanderpump Villa. And I'm like, are we seriously getting like a whole, like this is going to be like a trailer for that? So they gotta go like watch. I will not watch Vanderpump Villa. I tried to watch the first season. I think I got to episode 3, maybe 4, but I was like, I hate them all. And it was very scripted and forced. And I don't need any more Lisa Vanderpump being like a mother goose and everyone, oh, come here, and pretending like she gives a shit about these people. I can't do it again. I can't go down that road. And again, I'm also the same way, like, bringing Stassi back was a smart move for Lisa because she knew what that would do. She's like, let me pull in the audience, and of course Stassi would love it because she's money, duh. But like I'm not excited to see her.
Right,
so
it went right over my head, so it does nothing for me except not getting me another reason to not be excited about Mormon Rise, even though I'm like super excited about like I want to watch this. I know exactly where I was watching the first season because it was like, this is the wildest mess we've seen. And it's like the wildest mess we've seen in a while.
Like every episode was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Every episode, it's
you're
crazy.
Right though. You're right about how like so much happened in that first season that only like a first season can give you, because then you learn your lessons and learn how to keep shit off the cameras for second season. And so I'm hoping that they can be this real and whatever. Maybe because they are influencers and they're messy influencers already, maybe like they're open to it, but it's just typically with all that going on. And now they're bringing in, well, originally the show was supposed to be all of the girls involved in the swinging scandal, but they didn't want to. The others didn't want to. Taylor was like, I'll do it. And so, and then when the show aired, they were all making like TikToks and shit, talking about their version of the story and telling their side of what happened.
Like, girl, you had the opportunity.
Yeah. And so that's kind of why I was like, I wish they hadn't invited them to join now. Cause it's like, well, you missed out. You should have been brave enough to do it the first season.
Exactly.
Okay, so
because somebody like me, I didn't know the difference. I was like, wait, the TikTok, the moms, all them women that was sweet. So I didn't know there was only one person on here that was like involved in that scandal. To me, all of them were. That's all I knew. So y'all lost out.
That's exactly.
Don't try to overcorrect now.
I sat down to recap it and realized I don't even understand exactly who was involved in the scandal. So I had to get like a graph out to be like, so this person was this, and they're not even on the show. So to bring them on now, I'm like, well, pussies. However, though, the one thing that I know both Kendrick and I are excited to hear about is Taylor's like, I don't know if Dakota is sober. And I'm like, thank you, because he's not.
Thank you.
Like, we are feeling crazy over here, but like I see, and he's and now he's posting shit like a day in the life of a single dad. And so he's like hinting that there's a breakup. I'm like, but his eyes looked whacked out all the time. There's just something doesn't seem right at all. So I'm glad that we are going to be able to talk about it, because that was real weird, pretending like, because he's like because he would go on TikTok and be like, it's so damaging to question a sober person's journey or whatever. And I'm like, okay, maybe I am being shitty, but my eyes, I see I'm using my eyes to see. And I feel like you're not sober.
It did. That's the thing, because like you get shamed for saying it out loud. You're like, oh, I know I shouldn't say this out loud, but it's just like at a certain point, it's like you got to trust your instincts. You got to go with your gut. And it's like especially when you know sober people, like you
Yeah.
know what it looks like, you know what their journey looks like and stuff. And when you see something that just feels polar opposite to that, it's like, okay. So I'm glad that somebody, maybe I can't be the person to say it, but I'm glad somebody directly around him is asking the questions, because that don't seem, I don't know, it didn't seem legitimate to
Yeah, because
me.
I was like, I don't know if I can go a whole other season pretending, guys, and not like
Right.
saying the thing I want everyone to say. So
Exactly.
can we just say that? Okay.
Exactly.
So we're excited for it, obviously. When does it come out? It airs, just so I can tell everyone. It
Mhm.
airs May. I have it written down somewhere. Hold on. Maybe I forgot to write it down. Damn it.
Here, I'm on
Guys,
the
when does it
let's see.
air?
May 15th, a
May
Thursday.
15th. Oh, I did have it. Damn it. I did have it written down on my I had it on my calendar. May 15th. And they're probably going to release the whole season. I think you even said this. You said this last season. You're like, if they release the second season week to week, wrong road. So
Wrong road.
this better all come out, because don't do that to me.
Oh, it never works out good for a show when they do that. When you give us all of it at first, it's like, ooh, yes, this is great. I can luxuriate in it. Because when you do that and it's a great show, I'm gonna plan my weekend around it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, no, I'm gonna order this. This is what I'm gonna eat on Saturday. Then I'll sit down around noon and I'll watch, like 3 episodes. I'll go to the gym, come back, I'll get in 2 more. I'll have this for dinner. Like, you're gonna plan your whole weekend around a good TV show. But when you do that week to week shit, first of all, you have to rely on the fact that your show is good enough to be released week to week. If you have something that was great as a binge and now you're trying to put out that same kind of content week to week, you're going to lose us. You're going to lose us. And a lot of people can't make that shift. You have to go from a whole season being great, which means that like I might take in 3 episodes at a time, to every single episode has to be a banger. And that's hard to do with reality TV, because you're following people's lives. Unless you're going to script out every single thing you do, almost impossible.
Couldn't agree more. All right, let's go to what should have happened a long time ago. Dorit filed for divorce from PK. So the first part that's so funny about this is, first we got this creepy ass picture of PK kissing. Her name is Shayna or Shauna Wall. She's from Amazing Race. He has a type, honestly.
Clearly.
He has a type. I just like, ew, get away from him. Get away from him.
You can do so much better, girl.
I don't like that. But Dorit has filed for sole legal and physical custody.
Ooh.
And there's no prenup.
Oh, okay. But girl, that means the debt too. I don't know what he didn't quote,
I was gonna say, but it might have been better for Dorit if there was, because she might be on the hook for some shit she doesn't want to be on the hook for.
Exactly. She might want to pay an alimony, girl. I don't know.
I'm like, I hope that there are going to be I need some forensic accounting. I need to hear about all of it. Yes. I want to hear all of the scandal on that. Which, she'll probably then, because I don't think they're going to change up this next season of Beverly Hills. I think they're going to keep the same. I can tell, I can feel, although wait, Erica might have been demoted. I think Bravo and Cocktails released something saying that. And then I believe someone told me, I didn't actually check, that she removed the diamond from her bio.
Maybe. Oh, because I know I've seen the rumors, and it's just heartwarming.
I know.
It's just a warm hug.
I know. Because like, that's all she was giving was friend. That's all she was literally, that's all she was giving. Like, you can show up for a lunch or something here and there, but like, you're not going to give us your life. And even when we pick cameras back up to try to capture your reaction to Tom being convicted or whatever, you didn't give us anything then either. So
no.
And they can probably pitch it to her as like, you can't talk about the trial that you're about to go into. So
exactly,
what's even the freaking point at this point? But here's my favorite part of the Beverly Hills cast updates. Sutton and Garcelle. Here's this update. I just find this too funny. So Sutton broke her silence. She did an interview and she was asked like, "Oh, how does it feel now that Garcelle's unfollowed all of the cast? Have you spoken since the reunion?" And Sutton said she's giving Garcelle space and has not spoken since the reunion, but she pointed out she still follows my business accounts. So, well, Garcelle saw that quote and made sure Sutton knew, oh, no, I'm unfollowing you and I want you to know it. So she made sure to go back in and she unfollowed Sutton's business accounts.
Love it. Love it.
And then, but I want to talk about, I know I talked about this on social media a bit, but like the Sutton saying she's giving Garcelle space when Garcelle was the one who left the reunion. And Sutton, I don't know if you can say you're giving someone space who is not speaking to you.
Right. That's not up for you to give. She's giving you space by getting your ass out of her face. So it doesn't really work like that, Sutton.
Like, is that a nice way? That's a nice way of saying you haven't called her. Have you even fucking called her, Sutton?
Exactly. Space. Let me tell you something. Space is what got you in this in the first place. So maybe you need to be a better friend and try to get a little closer. But don't worry about that. Now you don't have the opportunity. If anything, Garcelle might reach out to you in a year or two. I wouldn't hold my breath though. That lady got grandkids that she's working with, Lifetime, all these other roles, Survival of the Thickest, baby. Son, you about to be the last thing on that list. You just better hope that Kyle stays on your side instead of going over there.
Well, I did hear where she wants to be. I did hear that Sutton and Kyle haven't spoken. Sutton said it. They haven't spoken since the reunion either, which I thought it was hilarious considering how much she was desperado for that friendship. And like, you haven't even talked to Kyle?
Right.
Like, this is what makes Beverly Hills as a cast so terrible. Like, if you think of Miami, that cast, they all really hang out and talk and have friendships. Right. Oh, and did you see that Julia and Adriana have a fallout? I saw that. We saw that coming. I feel like we all kind of could see that coming. Adriana's a little nuts. She's a little bit crazy.
That's the best thing about it. For like and not even just since the reboot, since season 1, like literally, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. But anyway, but that's what I'm saying. Like the Miami cast, there's like real interactions even outside of filming, as where Beverly Hills is like they clock in and when cameras go down, they clock out.
Exactly. And
the greatest thing about they wait to see each other. And then they get back to the next season and then they're like, "Oh, haven't seen you." I'm like, "For what? 8 months?"
Exactly. That's why Crystal was like so big about her and Cynthia went on Carlos King's podcast, and when they talked about that, because he was like, I've been saying for years they are not friends and all kind of stuff, and Crystal was like, no, I'll tell you, most friendships start as an alliance for sure, but then people either become friends or they just see each other like the next time they shoot.
Totally.
She said Garcelle and Sutton hung out the entire like off camera, on camera, like all the time, and I think that plays a big part into it. But the funny thing about all of this, we start off with, oh, I'm giving her space. She still follows my business accounts. Those are now unfollowed. Oh, I haven't talked to Kyle in so long, even though I was doing all this backflipping and all of this to be her friend. They haven't talked. And now she's doing all these quotes about, oh, well, the best thing about the season was that me and Erica got to such a great place, and it's just so wonderful and great and happy. And now all of a sudden, Erica's a friend of, oh, baby girl, you are really, I don't know what your next play is going to be, but listen, do me a favor and say that you're working out with, things are working out great with you and Dorit, so then maybe her ass get dropped down to a friend of too.
No, I thought the same thing. I was like, so Sutton's going to have no one going into the season? Yeah. No. That's what this show hasn't been a group of friends in so long. It's been like a group of literal like enemies that are just trying to not reveal too much so that they get in trouble and someone else reveals more than they should. Like they're all kind of playing a game with each other to see who's going to betray the other first. They're all holding on to like secrets and oh God, I can't stand this show.
The game is called Judas. Exactly.
So enjoyed.
I think me and you talked about it last week where I was like, I feel like Beverly Hills like truly hasn't been good since Brandi Glanville left. And I still stand behind. Like I feel like when I'm not Dorit. When Sutton and Garcelle came, I feel like they gave it a little like extra boost because it had been down for so long. Because it was like Lucy Apple, like all that meant like
Oh
that
my
was
God.
boring. My God. And so they gave it a little oomph, but then like even still, it just hadn't been the best. I saw where like a lot of people were polled about ranking the seasons of Beverly Hills. Everything, like literally the top 5 seasons were all Brandy seasons. And I was like, that's the way it just hasn't been, because with Beverly Hills, you really do need that personality that's not afraid to clock clear lies. Like you're doing us a disservice. And I know people are like, oh, we don't want somebody that's going to like speak on behalf of the fans. I don't want you to speak on behalf of me. I want you to have the same rational brain as me. I want you to be able to see something that's clearly a lie and not be afraid to say it out loud, not have such an alliance with the other women that you're afraid, oh my God, they're gonna hate me if I clearly say, you know, the sky is blue when they're telling me it's red. Like I don't need you to do the work for me. I need you to be a normal human being and call out the shit. So when Brandy left, there was almost no more of that until Garcelle came and Sutton, because Sutton just blurts it out, not caring who's her friend, who isn't. So now that that's gone, I don't know what Sutton's gonna do. Garcelle is gone. It's just, ooh, Beverly Hills is in bad shape. I mean, they have been for a long time, but they're in bad shape.
Someone reminded me in the comments that Avi also allegedly left Sutton. So
yes.
Sutton's, which I'm so happy for Avi, honestly, because I felt bad for him. I always felt like she was just mean to him.
Yeah.
Like when we're in Augusta, he's like asking if she wants coffee, and she's like, no, I don't. Oh, I don't want that. Like she's just like so awful and difficult.
Right.
I was like, I felt bad for this man. But I also liked how Reba did not enjoy him at all. Reba was like, he was like, oh, but I'm sorry, he fucked up when he did this. He goes to Reba, did you want to go get changed? And she's like, I'm wearing this. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, boo, be careful, sir. But ironically, she did go change.
Right. She knew. She looked a damn fool on camera. Reba, you get nothing from me, Reba. Nothing. Okay. You get nothing.
All right, let's talk about Atlanta. Drew.
Yes.
So okay, this is a very small minor point. I just am confused by Drew with this one little tiny thing.
Okay.
She told everyone she was Michael Jordan's cousin.
Yes.
And it seemed like she was not kidding. Okay.
Right.
But then when Angela said to her, you're not his cousin, I talked to Marcus, she was like, it was a joke. And then, so I'm like, Drew, really though, I'm with Angela. Who still lies about being someone's cousin?
The funniest thing about all of this was that I guess I've like for a second forgot like Angela is so like in the basketball
world. Exactly.
That she could just call up Marcus Jordan and be like, is Drew Sidor your cousin? And he's like, who the hell is Drew? Like, what are you talking about? That lady I met at BravoCon that one year, who are you talking about right now? Yes, her. That is not my cousin.
That is exactly what he said. He was like, oh, no, not at all. No. I've never seen her at any family function.
No. Not a reunion, not a Zoom call to plan a reunion, nothing. She's not there.
Something I also forgot to point out, maybe like last week makes sense because we were talking about bigger things. Kelly's dog is dyed like the color of my sweatshirt and other various colors. And she explained that it's because her dog was stolen, right? Mm-hmm. And then she was determined not to let anyone else steal her dog. And so I was like, so you dye the dog like an ugly color?
I don't know if it's just like more easily
noticed,
recognizable.
Like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like if if like a dog had a very obvious like marking or something, you'd be like, that's my dog. But yeah, because I forgot how like thrown off I was when I first saw the dog. I'm like, what in the fuck? Why would you do that? But she promises that it is cruelty free and vegan and doesn't hurt the dog. I'm just like, it hurts my eyes.
And she's wearing a fur coat. Yeah,
exactly. And she's wearing a fur.
Oh, housewives, I love it.
So Britt is all like, I feel like now what we're seeing a lot from Britt is going to be like favor scenes, like, here, go buy a car. Yeah, show off how rich you are, because they're like, trying to keep her happy, you know. But Britt is still so mad at Angela, and then talks about how she heard Angela's husband had a baby, which brings us to this video that Kendrick sent me. It's an interview with Angela about this. Because remember, we here on this podcast, when Kendrick told me about what Wendy Williams said on her show about Angela, that's when I was like, oh my God. So if you missed that part, Wendy Williams said, Angela came up to me at a party and told me, oh, another baby is no big deal. You can get through it. And made it seem like Charles was the reason why she was saying that. Okay, so here's Angela. It kind of goes on for a little bit, but here's Angela talking about it.
We're giving a lot of not backlash, but like they were trying to pry into your relationship with Charles because clearly you guys were separated for a while.
We were not.
Oh,
and a lot of people see, let's clear that up because we can clear, and it more will come out in the show. When he got drugged out of Madison Square Garden, like I see people are saying that's not a big deal. This is Charles Oakley going to the New York Knicks game, a team that he gave his blood, sweat, and tears. He has bruises on him to this day, scars that will never heal from playing in that arena. So he's at a game and he gets drugged out on national television. That's just like someone coming in here, dragging you out of here unprovoked for life. And this is a man with, I'm not going to say ego, but
pride,
who's, who has pride. So when that happened to him, that was traumatic. And when I say traumatic, I didn't recognize him anymore. And I don't even think he knew who he was anymore because everything was snatched from him. So we separated in that time. Yes, we separated, meaning you go do you go figure this out. And I'll be here when you need my support. But you can't keep pushing my support away because he didn't know what it was. Like he didn't understand what was happening to him. So I gave him grace. Now, with that being said, he got to see if this is what he wanted. And, in that time, he found his way back home. But that's what happened. But go ahead.
Okay, but he did.
Hold on, I'm pausing this right now because just the way she said that made it seem like she was saying, so he went and did stuff that a man does. And
he sold those oats. Yeah.
So we're going to keep going.
He did have a son or a baby.
No.
He didn't have an outside baby.
No.
I don't want to call baby outside, but all your kids are between the two of you.
No, he has a son.
Okay, now help me out, friend.
But you see, I don't know when it's coming out because I kind of wanted to play out on the show because I love that this Wendy Williams story is kind of like growing legs.
Okay.
This is something that happened in 2020 where I saw Wendy at a party, and me being a fan of Wendy is like, oh my God, Wendy, you going through it, sis. Let me tell you, it's just a baby. And Charles and Wendy have been friends 30 years. Like they known each other. So he's been on her show. And so they had an event together and we're coming together to cook for this event. And I'm like, Wendy, girl, stay with your husband. It's just a baby. And she was like, get that away from me. She was like, has that ever happened to you? And I'm like, yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this lady goes on her big platform and says, I pointed to my husband, who actually wasn't even around us in this conversation. And I'm like, no, Wendy, my daughter's father, my 25-year-old father, did that to me.
Oh.
So I'm like, and the best thing that ever happened to me was my 25-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Wendy, like, girl, it's okay. Charles Oakley did not have a side baby on me. And I am not, I'm not against women who stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're going to work out. They're going to work out whatever they need to work out. It could be someone looking at my marriage and like, girl, you stay. When he cook his bacon, he cook it too black. It could be anything. Like women want to pry or people want to pry in your relationship to see why you stay. I don't judge other women if they stay in any situation, but that's just not my story. So my husband did not have a side baby on me. And I hate, and every time it comes up, people be like, here you go. See, this is you and your big ass. Ow, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, the family.
Like, you should have never went up to Wendy Williams and said nothing to her. That's what he's saying. Like, you don't even know her.
But you were trying to be supportive.
I was, but not to Wendy. Like, really. And that's why I slow played my way into the housewives. I'm not going to go hard on any of these women before I know who they are.
Yeah.
Without, because Wendy taught me a valuable lesson. Shut your mouth.
Wow. I'm glad you were able to clear that up. And I'm like,
it plays out in the show.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I can't stress enough how beyond, even though I feel like she lies sometimes like Drew does, but but I cannot express like how much I'm obsessed with her. Like she is the best addition to this show, like on and off, because she pokes fun at herself a lot, but she also, I feel like she might have a little media training in the sense that she will dance around something so much that you forget like what the hell, like what are we talking about? Wait a minute. Okay, so you were cooking at the event. It's like, no, wait, we asked you about that baby. Talk about that baby, girl. I missed all of that. Go back to that part.
Because she really, the way she said, he went and tried to see what he wanted, and then he came back. I'm like, so that sounds, and then okay, I'll give her though that she was referring to her first baby daddy, or were they married? I can't remember if she said they were married or not. But like, okay, fine, you weren't talking about Charles,
right?
But I don't need to believe that he did or didn't. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Right,
honestly,
right.
Either way, they're together. They're, I find their dynamic funny. I think
I do too.
Yeah, like it's very natural. Like he kind of gives her shit, but like she knows how to give him shit back. So I like their dynamic.
I do too.
But Angela got Botox or filler in her nose to try to fix the pinch, which means that Shamia's words had a lot of weight for Angela. When Shamia said, with your 99 nose, she went, fuck. Angela was like, it's been such a, but unfortunately it swelled up. So her entire face was just, she looked like a Who from Whoville.
And I thought, because I didn't pay attention to the rest of the face, but when they showed like what the nose looked like after it, I was like, oh, that looks like a normal nose. I like that. That looks good. But I didn't pay attention to any of the rest of the face. So I need to go back and look at how she looked during that scene, because Ange.
And I could tell even when she got to Nashville, she was uncomfortable with it. I could tell like she was, and I can only imagine, like, if you know that it's on your face, like you almost like you're sort of slightly covering your face in every way you can, even though you can't ever cover that up.
Right.
But that just means that when Shamia said that, Angela thought about it. Angela's like, I've been wondering for a while if that's something I need to do.
I'm telling y'all, the easiest way to get somebody is to read them with their truth. See, people like to make up lies about you to like try to embarrass you or something. Go for what you know is a fact. That's gonna piss people off 3 times as much every single time.
And if you can't come up with something, just point out, just do it like Nene did. Like, okay, hat.
Exactly. Now wait a second, glasses. Okay.
Because then that person becomes immediately insecure about that thing. They're like, wait, is this hat bad?
Right.
Is it bad hat? Are these glasses stupid? Should I take these off? I don't know. Like,
what's wrong with a bob?
What's wrong with a bob? Hers was, but that's when she goes, she was with tight. The best ever. Okay, last week I came for Drew's makeup. I figured out what's going on. When Drew does her own makeup, it's a mess, because when she went to dinner with Britt, her makeup was
beats.
Like her face card is real. Like her face card, like she. So I think when she does her own makeup, that's when she doesn't get the foundation right.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple people DM me and they were like, I also have an issue with Drew's foundation. I'm like, I know. It's like, but it's only when if someone else does it, she looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This scene with Drew and Britt was quite a scene.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Drew came to play.
Drew tries to tell her, like, it's interesting because I felt at no point that Drew was coming in a friendly fashion, but Britt seemed to eventually be like, that felt good. I feel like we're better now. I'm like, really? Okay. That's
right.
Interesting. Because Drew's trying to tell her, like, you coming so hard for Kenya, and Kenya wasn't there. And I forgot that Britt had been saying, I'm here, she's not. Read the room. I forgot that she kept saying that. That part really gets, that's really bad to me. Like, that's the part that's like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
It's like you came in with an agenda and you won, and like, nobody wanted you to be the victor is the problem.
Like, they all know Kenya more than they know you. And so it's weird to be like, that's right, strangers, I'm here now. Your friend is gone.
Yep.
And they're like, no, opposite. But then Drew, as she drinks her drink, she goes, did you ever sell it? The cat.
I don't know how she said that without laughing. Honestly,
I'm the same thing.
I would have corrected her love. She said it and took a drink.
I think that's why she was sipping her drink. She was like, I'm not going to get this out if I couldn't say it.
Because Drew likes to plan a moment before she gets there. Like she comes with a dog bone. Like she'll do anything. She does not care. And so she definitely was in the car. She's like, wait a minute, what can I ask her? Did she sell it? Sell what? Oh, sell the cat. There we go. That sounds good. I'll do that. And I'll take a sip after I do it.
I can't say the P word, so I'll go with cat. The cat.
Exactly. Nobody wants a viral moment that has to be bleeped out. So absolutely.
Exactly. But then she goes, have you done porn? And I'm like, oh my God, girl. Britt looked a little screwed up by that. She was like, no, I mean, but what she said was she did webcam with a friend and they were both like naked and talking and like, but there was no like actual sexual acts on it.
She said for a week.
For a week in her 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Sure.
I mean, I also don't really care at this point. It was like,
right.
It's like whatever. But I didn't know that Drew had been saying she recognized the recipient of the D-sucking incident from the poster board. So that means Drew saw those pictures before Kenya blew them up on a poster. I'm sorry. That means Drew and even though I know Kenya's saying that the pictures of Britt were on porn sites, therefore like not, they were public. I still think that Drew could have been the one who found them.
Same.
Right.
I still think that too. They're not going to change my mind about that. I think Drew definitely knew ahead of time.
And her sister. Drew and her sister did a little digging and then they sent the information to Kenya, like, check this out. I think that to me makes sense. And I get why Kenya doesn't want to get anyone else in trouble because also Kenya's main point is it wasn't revenge porn because these weren't private photos. They were public. Right. So she doesn't even need to like pull anyone else into it with her. But Drew looked very comfortable with those poster boards. And now Drew is saying she recognized the penis. Remember the audio that leaked? So that's a penis. In my mind, that was Drew. In my mind, it will forever be Drew.
I love that. Now in my mind, it's Drew too. I love that.
Because can't I can see her like sitting where she was and going, that's a penis.
I can see it for sure. Drew,
almost like a teacher like points at it, just like, that right there is a penis, everyone.
Go right there. See it?
Here.
Right there. There it is.
Area.
Right there. That's a penis.
There.
They're a mess. They say, okay, so the rumor. So it's been a couple of things. So at first, because the people like the big theory was that Ming Lee was the one that sent the pictures or whatever. So people were like, oh my God, that's Rick Ross's penis or whatever. And so like people were like, no, that's not Rick Ross's penis. And so what hit the internet this week was that it was Hitmaker's penis, allegedly. So Hitmaker is this producer. He's actually really big. He's done a lot of now. Okay, let me give y'all a little history on Hitmaker. He was actually on the first season of Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood. And so he was with Masika Kalisha and they had a whole storyline. But then on the off season, they had like this, I think they were in a hotel room. Like I think it got physical between them, like something like went down to like he was arrested. I know police were called. I can't remember if he was arrested, but like a whole thing. But they hadn't stopped. He's been working in the industry like since then. Like he was with this R&B singer named Tink for a long time. But I think this guy who was on a podcast, he said him and Drew are really close. Apparently he's the one that said that was Hitmaker's thing. So I don't know. There we go. You heard it here first, people.
In my head, I'm imagining them all sending the photo to each other and being like, oh no, that's definitely this so-and-so's penis. And then like, nope, that's someone else. Like this is just this graphic photo that they're like, that is definitely so-and-so's dick for sure.
Right. Exactly.
Britt tries to get Drew to see where she's coming from. And I kind of felt like what Drew was doing was she was almost like sipping her drink, like, oh yeah, I've been there. See, it sucks when the social media comes after you, like whatever. And then somehow it seemed rude to me, but Britt's like, I'm glad that I feel friendship from Drew. I feel like we're close. I was like, really? That's okay. All right. I mean, I guess she'll kind of take whatever she can get. Maybe she's like, this is sort of the best option I'm going to have right now.
I mean, there aren't many other ones, and we know like now, like who is it? Now her and Porsha and Phaedra, I guess, are like all good, but I don't know how long it takes to get there. So she had to cling to whoever she could cling to. And I mean, let's be honest, Drew is Drew's low hanging fruit, so they can get to her and they can hang on to Drew. So I feel like Drew always kind of feels like, wait, am I the enemy this season again? Am I what am I? Do I get friends
so
this season?
Accurate. Oh my God. That is like you just summed up Drew's time on the show.
Literally every season, a mess.
But she's like, "What do you mean me? What do you mean you like? Oh, am I? What? That is so Drew. Wow.
Goodness.
Well, speaking of Drew, Ralph and Drew head to court. Now, what's interesting is Drew is the one fighting so hard to keep the divorce file sealed, as where Ralph seemed to want it unsealed.
Yes.
So then that really makes me question Drew.
Right.
And she kept promising. She's like, "Oh no, there's more against him than me, for sure. Oh, there's way more against. He should be more fearful. He should be scared." I'm like, "But why are you scared?"
Exactly. Because remember, I know there was a break between this season and last season, but we all forget like a lot of the things that like quote unquote cousin Courtney was alleging was all like the Ty and Mimi stuff. So I'm wondering what's in there that's able to be not fabricated. What's the word? It's able to be like corroborated for the courts that we are still thinking is rumor. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, what is it that like? Because Ralph seems happy. He's like, y'all know know this thing is for everybody. Y'all know that it's for people in Tampa, people in Atlanta, it's for anybody that wants it. Y'all already know that. Y'all know I'm terrible. Y'all know I'm a gaslighter. Like, there's nothing else you're gonna learn about me that's new. Her, on the other hand, I can still ruin her, and I think that's the whole intent. It's nothing to do with the divorce. He just wants this information out there so that she can her image can be ruined and tarnished as much as his is. Nothing to do with the divorce.
Because I also I'm so curious about these finances. That's what I'm the most curious about. Has he really not been turning over finances? Is this just like, I mean, I can't imagine Drew's actual lawyer would be lying for the cameras because that seems insane to me that they would do that. But after court, as they're driving away, Drew rolls down the car window and goes, "You're a dumbass. Okay, you were a dumbass in there. All right," and then just rolls her window back up.
Right.
Tell him, Drew. You tell him. You tell him. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up what's like. I was trying to think like what his net worth is, or like where, because I know like all we know around, we know business. That's all we know, but I still don't know like what he does. This website now, it's the Sun, so take that how you will. They say he has a net worth of approximately $2 million, but I feel like Drew's got to have that at least, right? Let me look up her net worth. See,
I was gonna say, let's look up Drew Sidora's.
Hers is 2.5. So I don't know. But she supposedly turned over her financials though, but he hasn't turned his over. So I'm like, why? I don't know if that's the case. I know she appears to be the one that's working the most. Like every time I turn on Vudu, she always got a new random straight to DVD movie out. She's on reality TV, and now she's at the time where like her Bravo check is substantial income. So she's at least getting that. She's doing she's getting a lot of opportunities. So I don't know. I'm wondering, even with all of that, is he still the quote unquote breadwinner? I don't know.
I'm confused by this whole thing. I think that's what's so tough about watching this season with Drew and Ralph is like last season I was so against Ralph, full stop, period, no doubt. And where this season I'm like, now what is Drew saying? Like I'm noticing that I am a little questioning of Drew as well. So I'm like, I don't even know who to believe. So maybe I should. It's the court. I don't know how to look up divorce filings. Can someone just send that to me?
I know. Somebody do the work for us and let us know.
I think I started to Google it and I was like, I don't understand. But I probably I should look at the divorce filing and see if all of the information is probably right there for me. Okay, we go to Nashville. Angela misses her flight and Porsha doesn't even notice.
That tracks. That sounds about right.
I also loved when they were like in the car getting to the hotel, and Porsha was talking about like getting her boobs done. And she's like, no, these men don't deserve it. She's like, these used to be Coco and Chanel. Now they're Bob and Ben.
I love that. Porsha is so funny to me because it feels like Portia's there, and I feel like she's like, the reason she didn't notice Angela wasn't there was because she probably in her mind, she's like, okay, now wait. Who's all coming on the trip? Okay, we got Cynthia, we got Kelly. Is Nene coming? Wait, no, Nene's not on the show anymore. Wait, hold on. who's still coming? She's like, you know what? I don't care. Whoever makes it, makes it. Whoever doesn't, oh well. And she probably just left. And they get there, they're like, wait, Angela, the one with the nose.
She was doing like an old roll call. She's like, okay, Nene, Candy. All right, see you guys there. None of them showed up.
Candy. I know that's right.
Angela shows up late, but literally walks in as Britt is talking shit about her, and she knows. She's like, oh, okay, walking into that. And almost immediately she goes, so I would like Drew to come. Okay. And then she says, I anticipate seeing Drew. When someone's like, wait, is Drew coming? I anticipate seeing Drew.
Perfect way to say it. That's the way of saying, well, producers told me to invite her, but I know y'all gonna hate me, so I'm gonna go around there right now. Just you might see her pop up.
100% what's happening. That's also why I think that Angela has this smirk on her face that's like a little passive aggressive. Yeah. But like I think what she's really doing is going like, I was told to do this. You kind of know, like, we have to have her here. Like, but now I'm gonna get in trouble.
Can I say that's gotta be the most satisfying thing on reality TV when you, the cast member, you know for a fact production told someone to do something, but you get to call them out as if you don't know that. So you're like, why would you do that? Why would you invite this person who has treated me so horribly on this, knowing damn well the producer told her to do that?
It's so they get so personally victimized by it.
Yes, every time.
That's so true.
To me, why would you?
And the other person's like, really?
Right, like, bitch, you know why?
You know why?
You know why?
You know why?
God damn it!
I want to point out something that I think will be coming up later. Kelly brings her glam guy Paris, and makes a point to say that she lent him to Britt.
Oh,
I'm just putting a pin in that because I have a feeling if there was a tone to it, I'm like, Britt's gonna do something. And I believe when Britt was on Watch What Happens Live, Paris was in the audience.
He was, yes. Yeah.
So I'm just putting a pin in that. Let's note it for as the season unfolds. Just thinking.
But can I tell you about a super random interaction I had with Paris online? I posted some memes. You know, I post my Atlanta memes every like either Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. And so at some point like, during the week, he came over there and he liked the memes and like put some like laughing emojis in the comments. And I recognized, I was like, you know, welcome to the show or welcome to Bravo or whatever. And he was like, oh, don't worry, I've been here. And I was like, you've been, wait a minute. Why do I not remember? I don't remember the face. So if somebody in the comments remembers Paris like being on another season or another show or something, let me know. But I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I'm like, where have you been?
Huh.
Were you somebody else's good Judy? I don't know.
Also, his face does look like there's been a lot of work done. So maybe like we'd recognize his older face.
Maybe.
Now interesting. That's funny. He was like all offended. He's like, bitch, I've been here. And you're like,
right.
I don't know you. So
sure don't.
Okay. There's a bunch of girlfriends there. I see Moneta, I see Lauren, and I see some other girls I recognize too. Like they must have been, I think we must have seen some of Portia's friends like in the background at other parties because some of them looked familiar.
Yes.
They hit up all these different bars, and I have in my notes, I'm watching all the white people in the background at this country bar because they don't show a lot of them. There's a huge group of them, so obviously, like they had a whole area sectioned off. But at one point, there's just these white people looking over. I'm like, okay, be careful, everyone. Stay
What is happening? What is happening?
But then I also thought, a couple white people try to get with these women. These women would kick their ass. Okay,
exactly.
But I
just saw on Twitter because I just looked like Paris RHOA. Apparently, that was Marlo's first stylist. So maybe we should have seen Paris in the background somewhere on the show. So there we go.
Oh.
Someone just said in the comments, Marlo used to work with, or Paris used to work with Marlo. Okay. So there
Okay,
we
well, thank
go.
you. Thank you.
Cheryl, I
All
recognize.
right, well, good to know. Good
There we go.
memories you all have.
No.
Um, meanwhile, in Atlanta, while they're like at the rodeo and stuff, Drew and her sister are in like what appears to be like a little private room at this club, and it's just the two of them. And in come the like bottle service people with the congratulations on the album. And I'm like, it's just Drew and her sister. What is this? And then Dennis sends a bottle of champagne or something, and she FaceTimes him, and she's like, "Thanks for the champagne." I'm like, it's literally Drew and her sister sitting in here getting like neon lights. I'm like, she just needed to make sure they had something for the cameras, I guess, because it just looked silly.
At this point, we can't help Drew because they're expecting you. You already are uninvited on this trip, and you're coming anyway. But before you go, you're going to sit in Dennis's club with your sister, and like you. Okay, like if Porsha jumps on you, girl, ain't nothing I can do for you at this point. Because I mean, it seems to be coming. I don't know.
Like
I
she
can't do
wants
nothing
it.
for you.
It's like she. I think she wants it. I think she wants Porsha to assault her or something. Like, you were asking for it, bitch.
Yes.
What the hell? My God. It's like, I didn't even realize that was Dennis's club. Thank you for pointing. I didn't know that it was Dennis's club.
Yeah, they were in crew, I think.
Jupiter.
Crazy.
It was Dennis's club. That even, oh my God. And just her and her sister. Embarrassing.
Right. And her sister do not like she go to clubs no more. So it's just all around bad. It was just like, girl, let's go home. What are we doing?
It was like they weren't even sipping on any drinks. They were like, thank you, just sitting there by themselves, like sitting on the couch.
Right.
No.
Weird.
All right. Then at the end, we get Porsha confronting Angela for inviting Drew, and everyone is like, Angela, what are you doing? And Angela, I think she did a good job of just sitting with it. Like, I mean, whatever, she's coming. Like, she didn't get all defensive. She's like, Angela, I can tell that she's been through enough in life to know, like, this is so minor. Like, she's seen these shows enough. She's like, it's going to pass. Like, we don't need to. That's what I think. I think what you're picking up on too. And I think what I like too is she's not taking it seriously.
Exactly. You know, that's what I love. Like, I don't need you. Like, every scene is not like the end of your life. Like, it's okay. Like, you'll make it to the next day. And I love that.
Like Brit is the opposite. Brit is taking it so seriously. And I think I saw someone leave a comment saying something like, Brit's problem is that she's boring. And I couldn't agree more. That is the other issue.
Yeah.
Like, she's just not a very thrilling person to watch.
And you know what? I feel like if we got maybe more scenes with her and like just other ladies, that would probably do her way more justice than like her and her husband. And like
her and her husband.
It's weird because them together, I don't know. I feel like when she's by herself, she's trying to be this person that she thinks you're supposed to be on reality TV. Like, oh yes, I feel like she's cosplaying Tamar Braxton. That's who she's trying to be. I feel like she's trying to be Tamar, where she's like, oh, I'm just, I'm that girl, and I'm this and that, and it's like this feels so disingenuous sometimes. Like, what are you doing? We see through this.
Nailed it. That's exactly it. It's exactly the vibe. It's like, this isn't you. This isn't authentic, and that's why we can't connect with her.
Right.
You know, that's like weird. Even that scene with her sister, like where we should have been like feeling connected. That felt like she was keeping things off the table and not saying everything she wanted to say and like not giving us the full context. So yeah, so she's right. That's the issue. I'm not totally sold on Kelly either.
Kelly, I love Kelly.
I'm a little on the fence. I feel like she's giving us what she has to give. Honestly, there's so much in the press about like what she's going through, so she kind of has to share about it. But I feel like I don't know. I have a question mark. I feel like she's not as loyal or as nice as she's acting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And maybe that's my issue. And I know that we don't love Brit, but like she's coming in so hard with Brit and then they fall out. I don't know.
I feel we're getting 3 different levels, maybe 4 actually. I don't know. We're getting a lot of different levels of new housewife and all these women because I feel like Shamia is maybe on this end where she's very like boisterous and she's very like you can tell she's very comfortable with the camera. So like her personality really comes through and stuff. The next level is Angela, who's also very comfortable, but she's not gonna do too much for y'all. But everything she's gonna give you, you're gonna like. So it's that. And then you got Kelly, who is kind of in the middle. Like she sneaks in some great shade that always cracks me up, and I feel like she's good. So I like her. Okay. But then on the other hand, you have Britt that like it's a little hard to connect with her, and it's like I don't know what you're giving, and you're doing a lot, and so it's like a whole like range of housewives that you're getting on this one show.
That's a very good point. That is, and they did. I will say they did a good job with casting because this was a big reboot to do. I think Britt though I feel like she's just not Housewives. She's not the Housewives like brand, even though that's kind of like a ridiculous thing to say, but I feel like maybe you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like she would be more comfortable on a show, a reality TV show that was more scripted-y and like, and where those reality shows where they truly do set things up for cameras and play out storylines that are fake.
Yeah. She's not ready to like live authentically on camera. I don't think
exactly it.
And you know what? Because I never want to completely write somebody off.
Especially so soon,
right. Especially so soon. A lot of people, we know firsthand experience. We know some people really do get better their second season. Sometimes first season they either do too much or they don't do nearly enough, and then second season somehow they really just like they're comfortable in front of the cameras. They're comfortable with themselves because they've had to do a lot of the fans are going to be eye-opening for you. They're going to tell you exactly how it is, what they don't like about you, what they do, and some of them either internalize it and become just like closed off, or you become a better version. You're like, you know what, let me show up the way that like I know my family loves me, like whatever. And so they become a better version of themselves, a more realistic version of themselves season 2, whereas season 1 it's like I don't know.
Yeah. I also, going back to Kenya, what we kind of picking up on last week, what we said, I stand by that. I don't think Kenya should have been fired the whole season. I could 100% see as this, maybe like a month goes by and Kenya coming back. Like to me, that's equivalent. That's a punishment. Like that's okay. Like she was punished for it. But to know that we're really never going to get another Kenya Moore scene when that whole thing fucking went down, it's going to be tricky. To justify it. Like I feel
uphill battle
for Kenya because it doesn't make sense. Like especially watching Jax on the Valley and watching how extremely dark that is.
Whew.
I mean, that is someone who should be fired. And like I know I've had I have had the problematic opinion that once the Valley premiered and we saw what they were showing us, and I was like, yeah, as bad as Jax is, he is good reality TV. But now that man, which is shocking, he has been actually hiding who he's really like. And I thought we were getting the worst of it. I'm like, there's no way it could be worse than this. But then seeing how bad it is and hearing that he flipped a fucking coffee table like at Britney. And watching that last scene, I'm like, no. At this point, the cameras are doing him a disservice. Because as I think part of his like addiction is the attention from the cameras, getting mic'd up, getting asked his opinion, getting allowed to speak, given a platform. It's now this reality TV is not good for him. And he should have had he should have not been able to film, period, if that's what he was doing with Britney behind closed doors.
Exactly. Two things about Jax. Number one, the reaction alone, I don't, and it maybe it's because I saw him from the back, like maybe he could have been smiling, I don't know, but it felt very uncomfortable seeing how Cruz was interacting with him.
I know.
It felt like this was someone that either heard these altercations or seen some stuff, and he doesn't know whether he's safe or not in his presence.
I felt the same way.
It felt like he shut down immediately when he came in there, and I was like, oh, that makes me just feel horrible about that, and that tells me a lot more that I need to know because kids don't lie.
I forgot to even mention it when I did the recap because like that scene, the last scene, like I know I've used the term triggered a lot, but like that scene did trigger me because it really I can't explain it, but it reminded me of my ex in so many ways. Like that level of delusional anger where you'll never get through to them. They're so mean and vicious and they bust out like mistakes you've made and it's like totally irrelevant. It was, so I almost couldn't articulate my feelings on it.
Yeah.
But I forgot the part where Cruz seemed to almost like crouch down on the ground and be like, I don't know what the move is here. And didn't seem to run to him like excited. I know.
Exactly.
It felt dark. But so my point is like Kenya, yes, what she did was bad, but I'm guessing it was a legal thing. I'm guessing this had to just have been some sort of like legal specific thing with the photos.
Maybe, because my whole thing is the other thing with Jax is they literally, because we've heard about what transpired, like what really all happened,
yeah,
like
what
behind
really
the
happened.
scenes and where he went and all that stuff. My thing is, if he's back next season or back later this season, like whatever, if he is back, why did you take that approach to protect him, but you chose to show all this stuff with Kenya, uninvite her to the reunion, and then possibly not have her back next season? So it seems like you're picking and choosing what you want to call legal, not legal, problematic, not problematic. So it feels a little too picky to me that I don't. So unless you're like setting Jax up for this huge exit from reality TV again, it feels gross to me.
Yes. And I feel like that's sort of where we're at. Like, I know I've been bad at saying like, oh no, Jax is good TV. But now that I see it, I'm like, this is what you guys have been covering this up, production. Like you guys have seen this and you've been like not showing it on camera and making sure you kind of protect him. And that's vile.
Exactly.
That is vile. And at this point, if he really did need to go to treatment and then didn't finish treatment, that should have been the end of his employment until he completed treatment and could show proof of whatever. Like, I get that. I don't understand how reality TV contracts work. And, you know, they're not like employees the same as like if you worked in a restaurant, let's say, and you were, I don't know, but like, I don't understand how they can justify keeping Jax. Cause like, not only did they keep him, but then he's doing the after show.
Right. Exactly.
So sit down again and talk some more again and be all problematic again. And I don't know if they get paid more for the after show or what, but still, I'm just like, we don't need to mic him up and do this again. You already were cutting over to too many of his fucking confessionals during that scene for me, for my liking. I fucking hated that. They kept cutting away to his stupid confessionals so we could say the same dumb bullshit. None of that matters. At this point, it should have been handled like this man has a problem. We need to get him help. Period. Not like, let's cut over to this confessional of Jax being like, oh, so she can hook up with Julian and I can't hook up with anyone. And then it's no. He's not making points that matter. Okay? No. And also it's scary because these must have been filmed after he went to treat. Like, at what point did you fucking sit him down for a confessional?
Right. And I know we know how TV works. I know you got to get back in that mind state or whatever, but that still feels gross that you're easily able to go back there and be like, no, she did this, she did that. I'm right. She's the gaslighter in this situation. I'm like, get out of here. You're so gross.
And like that right there proves he's not changed at all. Like that right there, the fact that he sat down and gave you those sound bites, that means he's not changed.
And he didn't do the full 30 days, did he?
No, he didn't do it at all. He did like 2 weeks or something. And then continued to come out and terrorize Brittany. And then I believe it was when cameras went down again, that again, he started to get worse and worse. And that was when the big fight happened. And she told him like, you got to go back. And then he went back 2 weeks again. And that's it.
God.
So I feel like the terms and conditions of his employment should be, if you don't complete a treatment situation, then you can't film.
Let's talk, because there are 2 comments I wanted to call out. The first one was from Melissa. She said, because I noticed that too. She said, did you guys notice how Cruz ran up to Zach and kissed him, but was pulling away and recoiling from Jax? I'm telling you, kids will tell you everything you need to know without saying a word. Like the way they interact, kids and dogs, I'm telling you, kids and dogs, they always pick up. They can pick up on those, whatever they need to pick up on. If a dog just for some reason, if you think that everyone likes this person, but a dog for some reason just will not trust them, I'm always looking like, what you be doing? What do you do when I'm not around? And then the other comment is from Jen Tree. I literally say this on this podcast, I feel like every single week. She said, what is Bravo's actual conduct policy? Until we know, we're always going to be questioning, because it feels like you pick and choose who you want to discipline. You pick and choose who's in the right, who's in the wrong, who you're going to like give help to and all. It's like, it always just feels like a way to like, you pull out this quote unquote conduct policy whenever you want to just like make these decisions you've wanted to make for a long time, and it's like, stop it, it's gross.
That is there's no consistency, there's no transparency about what it is. Where's your line? And so when you do something like fire Kenya, we're like, well, then we got a list of people that have done some pretty wild stuff. And so
Wait, can I say one more? Because Janet caught a stray in the comment.
I love when that happens.
Susan said, I bet Cruz doesn't like Janet either. Touche. Touche.
There it is.
Love that.
Susan, well done. That was and agreed. Ooh. One thing I'm very excited about on the Valley is in the trailer, you see Jasmine saying to Janet, you give Karen energy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, give it to me. I cannot wait. Because they also, I don't know if this was exactly right after what she said, because, you know, it's a trailer, but it looks like Janet just goes, like, has her shoulder up, like, oh. Like she's like, oh, like she looks like a Karen. She's like, call the police. Yeah. No, this is too good. All right, we got to end this. I have to work out because I have Beyonce tomorrow, and I got my noon workout appointment.
You do.
That's been a whole story, and I haven't even updated you on the final part. There's another part of that story.
Oh no.
Yeah. We'll get into that. But anyway, guys, we love you so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. This was a great chat today. Yeah. You guys coming in. Love you all so much. Mean it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show.
And make sure you're subscribed to and following the I Cannot with Kendrick Tucker podcast and with Kendrick Tucker on Instagram and Threads.
She's Speaking with Emily Hanks is available everywhere you get your podcasts, on YouTube, and also exclusive bonus content is available on the Patreon. If you want to support our shows, please rate and review on whatever platform you listen, or you can buy us a coffee. Links for everything will be in the description.
Love you all. See you next Sunday.